Most vampires suck, but some suck and are awesome at the same time. In this video, I'm going to go over the top 8 best vampires that you can use in your EDH or Modern deck to win the game. Gifted Etherborn. While this isn't a big drop, and it's not really going to win you a game, but it's pure value. Gifted Etherborn comes attached with Death Touch and Lifelink on its 2/3 body. Bloodghast. This 2-drop is a 2/1 vampire with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Bloodghast from the graveyard to the battlefield. Bloodghast has haste as long as your opponent has 10 or less life. Not quite the greatest for Commander, but if you throw this in your Modern decks, maybe a Dredge or a Hollow one, it'll be super effective. Arvad the Cursed. This legendary creature Vampire Knight has Death Touch and Lifelink. It's also a lord that gives your legendary creatures +2 and +2. He may only be a 3/3 body for 5 mana, but wielding Lifelink and Death Touch not only boosts the stats of this legendary creature, but it makes all your other creatures a sizable upgrade. Throw a bunch of legendary creatures in your Commander deck, and then the value will speak for itself. Alanda the Duskrose is perhaps the greatest card from Rivals of Ixalan. This legendary Vampire Knight has Lifelink, and whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Alanda the Duskrose. When Alanda dies, create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with Lifelink, where X is Alanda's power. Similar to Wormcoil Engine, this creature can replace itself in smaller creatures across the board. If you have a token strategy within your vampire deck, then this will boost your board state and make it incredibly difficult for your opponents to break through. Drana, Liberator of Malachor. This legendary creature vampire ally has flying for strike. Whenever Drana, Liberator of Malachor, deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. Putting a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control whenever she delivers combat damage to a player boosts not only vampires but all forces you may wield, including herself. What makes this card also fantastic is that it only costs 3 mana. All of that value for only 3 mana. Blood Artist may seem weak at first for a 0/1 for 2 mana, but if you read the text, whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. In Commander, you can make this ability go off in ways you can't even imagine. Sacking creatures to do damage to your opponents and you gain life can combo off in ways that make you win the game before your opponents even have a plan to stop you. And remember, this is only 2 mana. So I absolutely had to include this card on this list for vampires, because I think it should be included in every vampire deck. Vampire Hexmage. This small body vampire shaman has first strike and sacrifice Vampire Hexmage and remove all counters from target permanent. The reason why this is on the list at such a high spot is the amount of things that you can do with counters. For instance, Dark Depths, which is where this creature became famous, comboing off with it, removing all the counters on Dark Depths and letting you swing in with your 2020 avatar creature. Dark Depths Vampire Hexmage combo is one of the strongest ways to win in Commander, and the best way to pull it off is simply put with Vampire Hexmage. And the #1 spot goes to Edgar Markov. This tri-colored vampire wears the Mardu colors. This Vampire Knight was printed first in Commander 2017. Eminence, whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token, first strike and haste. Whenever Edgar Markov attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. Not only does this legendary creature act as a token source, it also acts as a lord. Even when he's just in the command zone, he pays value. There's not a lot of commanders that can say the same thing. And that's why Edgar Markov gets the spot for top vampire on my list. Long live Edgar Markov. Or dead, I guess, because he's kind of undead. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you enjoyed it that much, maybe you'd like to tip me. I have a PayPal link that you can send me tips if you enjoy these videos, and I can keep bringing them to you that way, and it could help my cardboard crack addiction. So please, think about supporting the channel in that way. If not, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will see you again in the next video.